These next memories for a memoir, Trent, include Grandma Annie. She's the first person to truly teach me about unconditional love. Not from my family, but from her. And she did that all of my life, paying money. One time when I was 7 years old, I went into her freezer to grab the ice cream. And just as I was getting the ice cream out, I went into shock as she walked into the room because that was totally taboo in our house. And she simply responded, "Oh, you want some ice cream, Sean? Sure." And as simple as that sounds, it is very, very different than Wanda and Mike. A huge part of my life goes to them. Grandpa Luther had a psychotic breakdown in the 1940s and was in the hospital for a month strapped to a gurney. And somehow he came from this incredible trauma, reinvented himself, and slowly worked his way down to Bonita Springs on a permanent basis. That's an incredible story. I have to call Cousin Bill and get more details on that. But he, the fishing with Bill and Matt and the dolphins eating the fish, and Luther blaming Bill for not properly hooking the fish on as they dragged in the water. There's 100 stories, and as Amy once observed, Grandpa Luther was always the hero in his stories. Um, Relationship to Maddie and Robbie, that's huge too. The abuse and the neglect and the physical stuff was terrible. And in addition to the good stuff too, I want to try to keep this upbeat. Um, and the fun we had together. There's a whole chapter there, from Lean Jean and roller skiing. How he was utterly amazed the first time I got roller skiing down, but didn't realize it had already been roller skating with poles, which is basically the exact same thing. Mike, the complicated nature of Mike, and the way he treated me differently. I remember I recorded uh, Hank Aaron's 715th, I think, home run, and Maddie just ruthlessly and without any regard to me overplayed that entire historic moment with music. There's never any consequence. One time we were eating dinner, and I guess I have a lot of stories to tell. And Matt came around and just slapped me in the head at the end of the table. And I went out of control. It was for something innocent that I said. So I threw a pork chop bone, but he hid behind my mother. And it hit my mother, and she got 6 stitches right up here. That's an embarrassing moment, but the kind of thing that Matt was never disciplined. Matt slammed my head into a shower door. The shower door broke. No consequences. None at all for Matt. In fact, I was probably blamed for being a little late taking the shower. Going to 3 very different high schools in 2 different states, ultra liberal Eisenhower, Berea High School, and then the Freedom of Lake Ridge Academy. I was never a student. I took math but never understood it, and physics, and more math, and ultimately calculus. Didn't learn a thing because all of this was based on the foundation all the way back to Algebra 1. And because I moved so many times, I never got it. I thought I was stupid. And when I got the Scholar Athlete Award for the year, the Headmaster's Award for 1978, 77, 78, there was stunned silence. And I heard Danny Lynn say, he didn't even make the dean's list, did he? And I felt bad. I feel like a scholar today. And simply realizing that I should have taken no math, no physics, no chemistry, no biology, nothing. I should have been at a high school for the performing arts. That's what I would do if I had to do it over again. Sports, competitive sports, going all the way back to the picture I showed you. This is when it all really began for me. Let's see, you could probably find me if you look. I'm in there somewhere. And with a tiny 90-pound body, I was competing with these guys up to 125 pounds. And there's stories there, so many stories. But I'll let you go after this one. Good night.